Hey everyone, it's Ariah. Welcome back to Fast Error. It's been a while since I did this. I'm sorry, I'm excited to do more though. Last time we met Arcjec, and Arcjec is car cat-like. He's kind of angry a lot. I don't know, I guess we can go back and see some things. Yeah, he fell out the window. Fell right out the window because he was looking, he saw like a figure in the distance or whatever, and he was worried about that. Yeah. And he had a conversation with someone. What was their screen name? It was, Windless Artificer. That's right, W-A. Alright, back to the page we were on. And now, we are going to check out this lady. We read this page already, but this is the purple lady, so it's kind of like Gamzee-like. Definitely very similar to the clown thing, I guess. Unclear. I mean, I assume it's the my Homestuck is pretty rusty, but the subjugulator or whatever. So is associated with this color. So perhaps, it's something along those similar lines. I see that poster in the background, which doesn't really read clown in the same way ICP does, but we'll definitely see how this person seems to present themselves. Enter name. Enter name? That's one real fucking gag you've got going on. You must have a very active imagination. Better knock that off before you're Nelsoned so fully you don't know you won't know if your body is contorted into salted twisty bread or if your limbs have always been this unattached. Alright, your name is Taz. Just Taz. Of course, you do have a longer and more conventional name as per your planet's time-honored 6-letter tradition. You simply refuse to use it for the very justified reason of it fucking sucks. That's totally fair. Luckily for you, nicknames are a rather common occurrence, given the way that the nursery I don't know that word. Accouchement? Let's find out. Accouchement. Really? Fascinating. Okay. Interesting. Accouchement. So, given the way that the nursery accouchement golems drop you into the denomination these what a private boxer enclosure in theater. Loge. I've never heard that word either. Denomination loge, to piece together a personal moniker before you have fully developed motor skills. Predictably, a good portion of the resulting designations end up being nothing more than unintelligible, jumbled letters with no meaning, which suits you just fine, as it has let you coast along with your name of choice over the sweeps with nary a raised eyebrow. Your religious allegiance lies with MIRTHAMANIACs. Oh, okay. A specific breed of roughhousing wrestler-esque personas that wish to further their ideology of righteous judgment against those who would perpetuate the corruption running amok in the fabric of society. This is nothing but a duplicitous way of promoting their perverse, choreographed infighting grudge matches in order to decide who truly deserves a spot at the top of the ladder with the blessings of the two above. You're more inclined to think of these matches as nothing more than a way to keep bias-fueled grievance slaughtering out of the public eye. But it isn't your place to say what's wrong and what's right. It is what it is. Everybody's got a price. You haven't made a persona of your own yet, nor do you intend to. You're not about to sacrifice your selfhood for a goofy chance in some tight spandex, even if you're meant to admire those who have done so. Despite this, you still hold a rather important position in the creed due to your inherited intimidation chuckle voodoo that is almost always active. You are also the disgruntled owner of an ever-increasing collection of rustic torture weaponry, most of which you've won as trophies. You spend a significant amount of time trying to figure out how they function in combat so you can take your opponents out as quickly as possible. You have an unsteady relationship with the majority of your childhood friend group, which you more or less keep in contact with, the exception being the one and only person who can somehow magically pacify your seething disposition. Your troll tag is pernicious overkill, and you speak in a manner that is way too abrasive for your own good. What will you do? Taz pet the rock. Can't you see he's sleeping? You can't just do something like that to the brains behind your tag team duo. You refuse. He deserves his rest. You may not have a problem with disturbing people in most situations if circumstance calls for it, but the Rock is special. He's been with you for a long time, and you will always treat him with the most respect. I mean, yes, this is a Rock, but you were talking about wrestling, and you said the Rock, and I'm thinking about Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Let's move on. Taz, admire a poster of Hulk Hogan. The man himself. Starting from the bottom, Terrence Bollea was eventually tossed into a Resent-grade torture fort key match following a disagreement with his hero and recently instated Fort Master, the champion of the Ruthless Expeditionary Knockout Tournament, over the worthless nature of his facial hair. Several gruesome hours later, and he was able to murder his powerful assailant and take the key from his neck, emerging victorious and taking the Fort Master title for himself. All of this without activating his follower Chuckle Voodoo, not even for a second. A previously unseen display of martial prowess, and one that has never been replicated since. After he was baptized with the blood of his former high brother, he gave himself the name Hulk Hogan and got started on his rather ambitious quest to personally meet his makers. That's very funny. I don't know anything about wrestling or Hulk Hogan, to be honest. Like, I've heard the name, of course. Obviously, this isn't the real story, but I do wonder if it's, like, loosely based on the real story, but just, like, trollified and, like, murderified. I imagine the wrestling is a fight to the death in this universe. This story is common knowledge within the MIRTHAMANIAC ranks. You know it, and everybody else knows it too, because the Hulkster goes on and on about the Hulkamania he's inspired every night on his talk show. You can actually hear it blaring from your TV downstairs right now, as tuning into the channel is mandatory. The guy has single-handedly overtaken the creed on ego and blind devotion alone. Not even his sacrilegious team-up with those harbingers from harbingers from a rival faith did anything to shake off the spell he seems to have cast on his fan base. And let's not even get started on the whole helping usher in a wave of demons from the horrorcore dimension thing. As much as you can respect his tenacity, one day you just might have to kill him for all of this. Interesting. I mean, you know, when you're in this field, right, like, I imagine you want to aspire to kill your idol, right? Like, because you want to overtake them someday. Kind of like a swordsman who might dream of besting his master in combat. Taz, examine weapon cabinet. Alright, we got some weapons in here. There's like one of those Iron Maiden things, it looks like, because it's like a coffin that has like spikes inside. It does look like there's some purple blood inside, so maybe someone's in there. I'm not really sure what these are. There's definitely like an iron mace ball thing. I'm not sure what's on the top shelf next to it. There's like one of those like plastic hand flapper things. I think that's like a belt or something. I'm not really sure what the other things are. Looks like the glass is broken. Mace kind. This is where you keep all your options for taking down opponents. This collection of tools made for bodily destruction and generalized murder fests includes, but is not limited to, 1 long ball mace, your preferred weapon, 1 mouth gasher, 1 pair of skin-piercing handcuffs, 1 row of needlepoint gags, 1 torture fork belt, sans the actual torture fork, 1 palm decimator, and the most potent device of them all, 1 ferocity weaver. This one holds special memories for you. Okay, so the longball mace, which is clearly the top shelf mace thing. Then there's the mouth gasher. Maybe that's the thing on the top shelf, because it looks like you could put it in the mouth and then you just like expand it and it just like hurts them or something. Skin piercing handcuffs. Yeah, there's definitely. Oh yeah, I see the spiky handcuffs back there. On the bottom shelf, kind of behind one of her horns. Skin piercing handcuffs. Needlepoint gags. That must be the stuff that was completely obscured by the horn. And torture fork belt without the torture fork, which is the belt I mentioned. And the palm decimator is the plastic hand slapper thing. And the ferocity weaver. I'm not sure which one the ferocity weaver is. Well, I guess there's this black. On the bottom shelf, it's like hanging up above it. Yeah, there's like a bunch of black spike balls kind of like all put together, so maybe that's one of them. Is that the... That must be the Ferocity Weaver. Because it's not... I don't think it's the needlepoint gags. Alright. All of this and more in a single easy-to-reach compartment. And at some point, you've made it even easier to reach by breaking the glass with your fist instead of opening the door. Your younger self was quite the practical visionary. Tassie's Ferocity Weaver. Oh, never mind. That's not the Palm Decimator. That's the Ferocity Weaver. Which one's the Palm Decimator, then? I don't know. Maybe it's... Well... Yeah, I have no idea. Bap, 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 bap. Bippity boppity bippity boppity. I love it. Ah, bap, bap, bap. Got a little out of hand with the Ferocity Weaver. Check damage. This isn't the first time something like this has happened. You have a rather nasty habit of making the same mistakes over and over again against your better judgment. It's kind of your thing. Hold on. What did we check damage of? Is this the damage it did to the room, or I'm not sure what is damaged here. I might be missing that. Maybe they'll say. It looks like they've opened a door or something. It appears someone from the fodder is trying to message you. Weren't you set to incognizable? You're supposed to not receive messages at all with that setting turned on. It's not like this thing has ever performed its supposed function. And knowing who's talking, he'd probably have found a way to bypass those settings regardless, even if they worked as intended. This guy's one of the better ones. You like him. Alright, we got a new troll. Ooh. This person has monitors and is watching a bunch of trolls. That is a little bit creepy. You know, just like spying on everybody. I see Arcjec lying in the mud above here. I don't see Taz anywhere, but maybe it's on the current monitor that is being blocked because it's the person that they're talking to. I'm not sure. UnclaspedKahuna. Oh boy, oh boy. Okay, gotta do some voices. Alright, forgive me if these voices change early on. I don't really know what I'm doing, so we're just gonna figure it out. We're doing it. Alright, okay. Oh, okay, so this person, looks like their typing quirk is like a TV, right? It's like, it's in a box, and then there's like the antenna coming out, right? Which kind of looks like these TVs that they're looking at. So that's what I presume is happening there. And obviously, Taz has these tildes at each side, and T's are pluses. Alright, and I also see the H being a hashtag, which is interesting, since it's somewhat of a digital joke, I guess. Hey, what's poppin', Clown Bounce? Best get yourself tightened up and your jigglers packed the fuck in it, and cause shit do I got the light to ignite one hell of a fire inside your brain matter, ready to start going off when you start getting down. Do you really think that it's acceptable to just message me whenever you want? I think it's clear that I had my program on this setting precisely so you could not do that. And yet you still did. You're lucky I was here to even see this. I was just about to take care of something important and wouldn't have been able to get back to you for a while. What would you have done with yourself then? Cool, so you done now? What? No, I'm not done. Why don't you just fucking wait, and then you can plainly see that I'm not done. You interrupted me when I did not want or expect to be disturbed, so you are going to deal with the consequences. Okay, so you're done now. I'm just gonna keep talking because it's my turn. God, fuck. Alright, I guess. So I finally completed my life's work here. Sweeps and decoding and uncrypting and searching for funny-looking rocks gave me some goddamn reassurance that this actually was a big league choice action. Also, no offense to rocks, by the way. Tell the little man what it is from me. Okay. The little ruffle. Nah, see, you're still not getting the grand scope of all the pictures I'm tossing in your direction. It's like I'm just slamming pics and rubbing them all over and smearing my good name so you can get the pics, but you're just standing there all cold-faced and big-breasted. Gotta let me work here, bitch, Carney. Jesus Christ, what? The picture that I'd like to see is the one that shows me what the actual shit you're talking about. I agree. I have no idea what this dude's talking about. Oh my god. So this is the Eridan equivalent. That's like kind of like a Hawaiian shirt. Some interesting purple, presumably this color. Oh god, fuck, I forgot the name of the color. It's there's kind of names for these colors because it's Homestuck. After purple, there's, because fuchsia is like Fairy. What is the name of that color? I don't remember. My bad. I apologize. Talking up the fact that I put the pieces of the rigorous underground hell machine together and got clued into the matrix of eye-openers through. Well, let's just call my man here for an informant. Knew him from way back when, sourced me into my being, pretty much. And now he sourced me one more time for good measure, but he said this was my last tip-off. Hint was that this place was rotten, and he said that it in a narratorly tone of serious business, so he's not playing any games, but we are. We? Every single thing that you're saying still just sounds like a bunch of pointless claptrap, which I don't want to hear, and I don't really think that I care anyways, but I'll give you, like, one more go at properly explaining why you're trying so hard to sell me on this. Got all this figured out, but I needed to pair up with high fructose for this, because TBH, you're getting dragged in whether you're in and out. You in or you're out. You better not be talking about who I think you're talking about. Damn straight I'm talking about the Arkman. Please do a solid rep and get over yourself so we can get these balls moving fast, because soon we are on the clock. No, never. Not gonna happen. Okay, Arkman, high fructose. Interesting. Presumably that's Arcjec. I wonder why high fructose is his nickname. Also, it seems like Taz does not like Arcjec. And it does seem like that they're playing Spurb or Scrub or a version of that. It does sound like that, but maybe that'll be subverted. Taz, set online status to cloying. Does cloying mean anything? Is that a word? It does. Excessively sweet, rich, or sentimental. Interesting, especially to a disgusting or sickening degree. Did not know that. All right. Okay. Ooh, we got the computer here. We got this background. Very shit. What did they call it? They called it the Mirth something. Hold on. I'm gonna go back and find out because I should know that. It's the Mirth Maniacs. That's what it is. Kind of like, I imagine that's similar to like WrestleMania. But Mirth Maniacs. Good to know. Yeah, so there's also, looks like Hulk Hogan here as well. We got cloying. I can't remember. I can't see those. Themes, memo, actions, text, emotes, pics. We got everyone here. Doesn't look like there's anyone here who's not. It does look like Gigantus Debilitation animated humors do look like they are slightly different colors. I'm not sure if that's. I'm not sure what that means or how to read that. Okay. We got Scorp, Nitric, Blitz.to, Mirth AIX, Shriekify, Smiley Face, Red Room. Oh no, not the Red Room. Oh well, the floodgates are pretty much open already. This program is so unbelievably shitty, your status wasn't making that much of a difference. Might as well leave yourself officially open to the rest of the crowd if they feel like going a little wild. Your Scorp thing is Hogan's Heroes. You really wish you could scrub all those befouled watermarks off and replace them with somebody who's not a pious, ego-gargling sellout. Not sure who they're referring to. Oh, maybe these little, like, faces? Speaking of, Taz, go downstairs. Alright. There's Fago! Or is that... I think that's Orange Fango, but it could be Orange Fanta or something like that. We got an iron cage. I'm not sure what this pipe is next to the cage. Examine bar. It is Fago. Good. I'm so glad. On the counter, you notice 2 unopened bottles of pinfall fuel and an ambrosian meat slab, cooked just the way you like it, raw. It's a little green. It might be moldy. You can't settle in for a nice meal right now, though. You have an appointment, and that appointment consists of laying a mental smackdown in the general direction of a loudly televised, obnoxious in-group heresy. I mean, maybe it's like full of green blood or something. There you are. Taz, deploy smackdown. Hulk Hogan's Pasta Mania. Oh my god. Look at you, you filthy, degenerate piece of mat scum. You sold yourself out for the price of absolutely nothing, like some sort of leftover rotten food implement at the discount bin with misguided delusions of grandeur. Disgusting. This little trend you started of others mindlessly treading at your heels is as unctuous as the al dente grain worms you shove down the open maw of the gullible masses. You will fall, if not by the righteous hands of the 2 above, then you will personally relay a clean finish to the slate of this world and the next, as far as your autocratic career is concerned. The go-away heat just keeps getting hotter for you. Jeez. Taz, admire championship prizes. Oh, that's an interesting statue. You got some coins, or that's a belt. Duh, that's like a champion belt. This belt is among the first of many you've taken home with you. In the 2-sweep time period since your professional bouts began, you have to begrudgingly acknowledge your status as a crowd pleaser. Most of your belts, outside of those won for various key matches and scramble royales, are awards for high performance and outstanding technique. As the current fort raiser, you were expected to take your victim's borderline unrecognizable remains back to the hive for display purposes. You don't know the first fucking thing about taxidermy, though, so you decided to reconstruct and solidify his corpse with concrete instead. Oh my god, that's like... that's someone who lost against you. You do have a friend who's reasonably knowledgeable on the subject, but you're not exactly a fan of asking for help on the best of days. You'd like to think you'd manage to do a pretty good job regardless. Sree! Well, it appears you have a problem now. Taz, investigate Sree. Door. Lucis. I can't tell what that is, but it looks like whiskers from this angle. What? Oh, you motherfucker. What did you do? Did you kill something and eat it? Someone with brown blood. I forget the real name for that. I'm such a bad Homestuck fan. I forgot all the names. Your custodian really has the entire dynamic of your relationship ass backwards. She likes to think of herself as the semi-aquatic queen of your hive, yourself, and also the entire planet while she's at it. Everything is her property, including the next match pick you had been stowing away in your fort for later, whenever duty called for the next mandated sacrifice. Oh, so the Lucis killed this person's next opponent, and they're mad about it. Yeah, there they are. Poor sucker, you can't help but feel sorry that he wound up down there, and also here in general, with you. At least he looks a lot better than what would have happened once you got your hands on him in the middle of the fighting ring. His carcass didn't even land in the black depths. Ooh, it's like a circus tent. And the hive, it looks like... Oh, so this person, she seems pretty isolated. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's so pretty. Well, yeah, because she is like Eridan, so she's like an aquatic troll, but it doesn't look like she lives in the water. She lives on land, but near water. And that's fascinating. With a lot of, presumably... Luci and trollfish. I'm not really sure about these other troll life that's here, but they look pretty interesting. We got this got like eyeballs on the end, all these like fish with like weird appendages. That's pretty neat. I'm a fan. It wasn't always this way. Many centenalia ago, your planet used to boast a castle of aristocrats, whose duties included looking after the state of the oceans. During the Renaissance, however, these lineages were all but exterminated, viciously and without warning, by a self-proclaimed tyrant who wished to seize the throne and rule with an iron fist as the only one of his kind. Nowadays, the remnants of the old sea hierarchy almost amount to barely 0.1% of the world's population, and that figure is dwindling as is due to the general environmental collapse. Most bodies of water have only further degraded with the passage of time, your whole species eventually gaining an instilled aversion to any and all forms of it. There was a lawless period in the history of your planet where all manner of refuse, ranging from regular garbage to toxic waste and chemical mixtures, was unceremoniously dumped into the sea in the name of progress, using it as some sort of dross receptacle. Oh my gosh. I'll comment on that after I finish this page. As a result, you have to force your Lucis to stay away from her natural habitat, and with no way to keep her mind from the call of the wild, she's become horribly stir-crazy. Better this than the alternative. This cocktail of hazardous substances has mutated harmless sea creatures into monstrous, cannibalistic carnivores that feast on the flesh of their own. Unholy beasts with extra eyes and wiggling appendages lurk in these brackish waters, waiting to strike at the slightest opportunity. One man, a tempestuous bout of assisted violence, and sweeps later, the world still has open wounds to show for it. Which brings you back to people like you. With the overpopulation of low bloods running amok, someone has to thin the numbers out, or so the creed goes. Fascinating. So obviously there's a lawless period in the history of your planet where all manner of refuse from regular garbage, toxic waste, and chemical mixtures are unceremoniously dumped into the sea in the name of progress. I mean, that's kind of what happens in the real world, right? Like people just dump trash into the ocean because they need to get rid of it, and it's like, oh yeah, it's progress. We're gonna, and then nowadays I guess more people are have their eyes open to the fact that that's dangerous and bad and hurts the environment and hurts the ecosystems, and we need to take plastic and stuff out of the oceans. But damn, like that certainly hits close to home there. It's very interesting because this does appear like, obviously this is an AU to Homestuck, right? Because in Homestuck, the troll planet Alternia was destroyed because of scrub, right? Like the trolls entered the medium and the planet was destroyed. Not like destroyed, but like it became desolate. It became where the exiles were, where Spade Slick and all of them ended up. They went to a moon, but like that future planet. So clearly this seems like the troll world, but kind of in the future if scrub didn't happen. Because it seems like certain events happened, like this the aristocrats were like the fairy, and the people who her blood color, the fuchsia bloods, and the sea dwellers. But yeah, these lineages were all but exterminated. Fascinating. And so there's not very many of the old sea hierarchy anymore. I wonder who rules this world now. Reasons like these are why you can't bring yourself to care as much as you'd like to. Reasons like these are why you won't ever apologize for the necessary painful truths you have to tell. Alright, we get a flash. I'm excited. Arcjec recover, our first flash of vast error. Oh, rip. We're working converting all the flash places. Okay, that didn't happen. Maybe one day. I guess we'll watch on YouTube for now. That's a little unfortunate. Alright. Watch on YouTube. A skeleton creature? Could be like a Lucis of some sort. Lots of next arrows. It's not time for you to see me again just yet. Wake up. Huh. Okay, so Arcjec was outside and then woke... Hold on. Arcjec was outside and then woke up. So Arcjec was outside and something weird happened with static and some like skeleton creature. Maybe it was the skeleton creature that was talking. You're not ready to see me again yet. And then Arcjec woke up in his hive. So either like that was some weird perception that he had while he was moving back to the hive, or somebody moved him back to the hive. And then we get this interesting symbol. It looks like a triangle with a circle. And then there's like another circle with a line. And there's like, yeah, I don't know what this symbol could look like or be, but we've seen it, so that's interesting. All right. It happened again. Oh, like that's a little mouse. Is that Arcjec's Lucis? Arcjec, it's spectring. Oh yeah, there's that symbol. It's the only way. It appears we have quite a bit catching up to do. As far as this young man is concerned, moving the story along requires cooperation from both ends. So please bear with the gaps until it's time for them to be appropriately filled. Ah, this is the spot where we need to be. Unlike some other parties, this girl has been patiently waiting for her time to come, doing no wrong and no harm, as per usual. This past cryptic sequence has been quite unnerving, but the soothing atmosphere permeating her abode does wonders to take the latent underlying sorrow down a notch. Who is she? Well, I haven't been recording that long, so I'm gonna continue a bit. I'd love to be able to end here in terms of like as a stopping point for the story, but we haven't been recording for very long. So let's just go for it. Enter name. Your name is Albion Shukra. You guys can correct me in the comments. Is it Albion or Albion? I can't really tell. Or Albion? Albion Shukra. Albion Shukra, if you know what I mean. Got him. Anyways. Albion. I'm gonna say Albion for now, because it's easier, but let me know if that's wrong. You are the chosen inheritor of the cosmic legacy passed down to you by a long line of spiritual prophets, extra-universal entities only given the vague name of star children, with your own self being the 12th and final link in this chain. You believe it is of the utmost importance to cultivate thoughts of optimism and exuberance, rather than the constant deluge of fear and self-doubt that seems to permeate your planet and its inhabitants. Therefore, your purpose in life is to teach others about the art of living together in harmony, doing your best to encourage a state of inner peace in every individual you encounter. And luckily for all, your best happens to be quite exceptional. Each star child has a specific gift relating to the truth of their world. As the final one in the line, however, you possess none. Instead, it is your destiny to bear all of the previous gifts in order to become a being of complete conciliation, the pure oneself. You communicate with your guardian, a collective made up of the souls of the star children who came before you, through projective meditation. They have helped you prepare for the moment when the two of you are to merge into a singular being, an event meant to take place after your planet is broken beyond repair, an event which might come to pass this very night. Aside from your obligations, you have a variety of more casual interests. You enjoy finding constellations and forming pictures with them. The night sky, your mental canvas, each and every sectioned menagerie of bright gas and light in the firmament positioned to tell you a story. You then take the time to pen these tales in ancient pretext as a record for the future, in an attempt to revive the lost tradition of planetary folklore. You have a vested interest in collecting colorful and fragrant incenses, which emit calming aromas that help you keep your body chemistry in balance. This helps you stay in total control of your spirit power, a physical manifestation of emotion-based energy that you monitor and utilize through your mood ring. The need to actively keep yourself in check rarely presents itself, though, as you are an extreme pacifist with absolutely no tolerance for unneeded confrontations and aggression. The rest of your free time is spent solving interpersonal problems and being the resident shoulder to cry on among your friends, though most of those activities are devoted to your dear Moirail and part-time auspicious, Taz. Your troll tag is demiurge quantified, and you speak in a manner that really shines. What will you do? Okay, that person seems interesting. This is unlike any Homestuck troll that we've had, that's for sure. Very unique, and I'm here for it. That's awesome. Oh my gosh, that's like a soap. I didn't even look at this image very much yet, but okay, I'm glad I scrolled back up and didn't forget. There's like a spiral staircase leading upstairs. This looks like a room that's like made of glass or something, some kind of observatory, or maybe it's a mirror room, or maybe it's a padded room, or maybe it's like a tiled kitchen or something like that. We have some sort of scroll here, some candles all over the place, a little like bonsai tree, and we have this is what I was pointing at. This like soaper slime bathtub, but like with flowers and stuff in it. That's kind of really funny and amazing. Speaking of incense, I think this is the perfect time for me to light some incense. I don't know. It just feels right, so I'm gonna do that real quick. All right, I have this bag. I went to the mall with some of my friends not too long ago, and we got stuff. But one of the stores had a deal on incense because it was kind of old. They had all sorts of different kinds, right? And if I bought 10 of them, which cost a couple dollars, I don't remember how much, not very many, then I can get 10 more for free. So I got like 20 sticks of incense. They're just random different. All of them are different. I picked out different ones. So they're all in the same bag with no labels. So I don't really know which kinds these are. But I'm just going to pull one out. Smells nice. And I'm going to light it. Let's do this. There we go. Burning. It smells really nice. I'm gonna stick this over here, my incense holder, and it'll burn while we continue. You know, honestly, incense might be a good like recording tradition for me because it just makes the room smell nice. Anyways, I haven't thought about that before. Let's continue on. Let's check mood ring. Okay, it's lime green. You're completely green and stable. Hooray! You already knew this, of course. Your ring is always green and stable, as that is your will. But you like to treat each time you decide to check it as a small personal achievement regardless. It does wonders to make the predictable consistency feel like a victory, rather than a nightly chore of mental upkeep. As a result of your disposition's uniform nature, you never catch more than a glimpse of the other colors that signify different moods, with a few exceptions. Hope, blue, compassion, purple, and love, pink, are the ones you allow for prolonged periods of time. Fear, yellow, greed, orange, and rage, red, in particular, are expressly forbidden, not by Star Children, but more by your own standards. It is said that when you merge with your guardian, your mood ring will turn into a ghostly white, representing your the life you're meant to lead. If your ring were to turn black, though, it would mean you've lost any power you once had. You would feel blank. You will never let that happen. Well, if this was Hussey writing this, then I would think, oh, one day that's gonna happen. But I have yet to discover exactly how much these writers enjoy Chekhov's gun. Albion, read table scroll. Oh, that's, yeah, well, obviously this is before Hive Swap. I think I mentioned that before. I think this came up before. The upside down Elder Scrolls text, for the, I really don't want to translate that. Alright, the search did not yield anything. I just searched, like, vast error, page 88 translation, to see if anybody had, a translation for this here. But I couldn't really find one. I could do it, but I don't want to. That's way too many characters. If someone in the comments knows what this says or know where I can find where this says, please let me know. If not, it's probably fine. They probably didn't intend for it to be read. Or at the very least, they probably didn't intend for reading it to be important to the story. You're taking the time to properly translate it to current text first, which has been taking longer than you expected. Your language is structured very differently now, compared to what it was before the Renaissance, both in grammar and alphabet. It is quite the effort. You've refrained from digging too deep into the meaning behind the scroll until you have that part done, as you enjoy being surprised when you read tales of the past. Though, from what you've gathered at a glance, it seems to be talking about some sort of curse through blood. This specific task was undertaken not out of personal enjoyment, however, but at the request of your matesprit. You have been slowly teaching her assorted planetary customs, as she's rather behind on those due to her sheltered upbringing. Your ring flickers pink. You slap it. It goes back to green. Interesting. Okay, so I probably should take some notes about the relationship between these characters. Because it said Albion is Moirails with Taz, right? That's what it said. Yeah. Dear Moirail and part-time auspicious Taz. I'm gonna keep a note of that, actually. I'm gonna write that down here for now, and I'll transfer it over to a better place later. I'm gonna say Albion Diamond Taz, parentheses, part-time clubs. Which I'm not totally sure in what context, if one of them is like the auspices for two others, or if, well, it doesn't really make sense for someone to auspice them, right? Like, I don't know. Guess we'll find out. Alright, and then they have a matesprit, but I'm not sure. Oh, wait, I'm too far ahead. Whoops, my bad. They have a matesprit, but unclear who that matesprit is. I'm going to say Albion Heart blank. Okay. Get that out of the way so I don't have to make noise. Albion admires slime pit. Oh yeah, I was admiring the slime pit earlier. This is not your typical Recuperacoon. Rather, it is a Recuperacoon. Hold on. What is recuperate is a word, right? So yeah, that recuperate is how it originally is, right? So what Recuperacoon? Recuperacoon? Like a chicken coop? I'm not really sure what the difference in spelling is supposed to intend there. I might be missing that. More used for pure relaxation instead of sleep. Your species is very bad at naming things. Meditation takes a lot of focus and poise. Spending a few minutes in here is a good way to take the tension out of your system before you engage in your customary sessions. You like to use glop enhancers in order to make each experience slightly unique, though you've been set on miraculous view lately. The name really does the product justice in both color and smell. Interesting. Glop enhancers. I enjoy that. Albion, received message from Taz. Right on schedule. You could have felt the burning passions of her overblown conundrums coming from expanses away. You'll need your astral projector in order to use Scorp and speak with her, a device which has been placed in your spirograph modus. Okay, Albion, open spirograph modus. Oh, interesting. How does this work? Your modus is currently rigged to an 11-card system on a 10-point graph. The astral projector holds a spot in the middle, which will always be a white card. It is also surrounded by 5 currently inaccessible black cards and 5 accessible green cards. The center card can be accessed at any time and have something new stored inside in turn. Either of these actions will alter the arrangement of the spirograph. Okay. Certain configurations, usually overly complex in nature, will have some cards be more accessible than others. If center cards are moved, they will determine which specific card is to be slotted in its place. Same deal if a card is added to the center slot instead. If a card is removed from a position that isn't the center, the configuration will change, but the center card will not. Simpler alterations allow sets of cards to be moved around without changing the configuration of the graph, such as switching between certain ring levels. Removing any of the accessible cards or adding an extra one will change the number of spirograph points accordingly. It shifts depending on how many cards are in the deck. Okay, I mean, I understand that in theory, but I don't understand, like, exactly how it switches, so I guess we'll just have to see. What do you have in here? You got some balls, you got, like, a telescope, you got a candle, you got maybe, you got, like, multiple candles. You got, I'm not sure what that is, maybe that's a bunch of incense. It looks like, is that another scroll down there? That looks like it. And then some kind of star map. Retrieve astral projector. Whoop. And then everything switches. Oh. Hold on, I need to see that again. You retrieve it, and then... Okay, and then it all goes around a different card, because you took the card out. Luckily, if you rig your modus with some Luckily, you've rigged your modus with some of your less appealing candles to have your item just where you need it. The spirograph now allocates one of your translated scrolls into the center card, shifting your potent glop enhancers, spare incense, sextant, and grubby juice-scented candle to the inner ring as soon as the in-access cards. Not that you'll be needing them anytime soon. Aren't things much better when you plan ahead? Okay. Very interesting. Albion, use Astral Protector. You place the Astral Protector in front of you, using your spirit power in order to activate it. You will now have electronic access in the cell. Albion, meditate. Okay. Tranquility is an asset harshly underutilized in the minds of others. That is why yours acts as a personal safe haven. Albion, activate Scorp. Some cosmic deity, it looks like. This somewhat resembles, like, chakras and Buddhism and those kinds of things a little bit. Your Scorp theme is called Nebulaic Nirvana. The central hub of your applications is an age-old interpretation of your universe's creation myth, depicting a world lacking turmoil. This piece has always spoken to you on a fundamental level, as if it's the being you are meant to become in time. Interesting. Answer Taz. Alright, we got another Scorp log. Let's go. Hey, Albion, so I just got a shitty bunch of messages from UK. He mentioned wanting me to play some sort of game with him, although knowing how he is, that could mean a wide variety of things that I'm most likely 0% interested in. Like, it's probably just some sort of elaborate piffling scheme to play a useless and antagonistic trick on me to get on my nerves or something. Already gets me mad just wondering about it. Actually, no, I don't really fucking care. Especially since he told me that in order to do whatever it is he's planning, I gotta work with Arcjec, which isn't gonna happen. I had a few moments with my thoughts and figured I'd mention it to you. It's probably a bit of a stretch, but I was wondering if maybe you've heard something about it and could offer some insight on what the actual shit he's talking about. Or not, and I can just complain for a bit. I must be a face, right, TMT? Actually, I have an entire arrangement of varying notes and plans, dating back epochs that have led us to this very moment. I was waiting for you to message me so I could explain them in large amounts of detail. What? Really? No. Fuck you! I'm not sure what you were expecting, but really, it shouldn't be me having all the answers. At least not all of the time. Well, actually, I guess you technically weren't expecting that. But really the expectations on the matter aren't the right exact matter at hand, right? Well, no, I hadn't actually been expecting you to know, but then you raised my hopes and lied to me. Now I'm just confused. Do you know something or not? I know approximately a few things. Like most of us, I'm not really sure what exactly he is referring to, but I do know that this is the night in which our planet begins to crumble, and I will have to save you and everybody else. Now you're just being vague and kind of foreboding. I don't really appreciate that right now. Taz, did you forget that we have big plans today? The plans that my life and all the others have been setting up to. Yes, because I really can't absorb all these viciously wrong prophetic sentiments. Speaking of sentiments, this seems like the best time to bring this up. Perhaps you should talk to him? Oh, no, Albion, no, don't make me. I won't make you do anything. I will tell you that this is a wise choice, and it might make you both feel just a little bit better about each other. You've spent so much time trying to grab his attention, but not so much attempting to really speak to him. I don't have a lot I can say, not regarding the actual topic. I know what I must do right now and later. I have a meeting that will be putting us all in motion towards the end. Do what you feel is best, or rather, please take a moment to do what I would do. Damn. And a little while later, the bard and the sylph do indeed speak again. It goes as well as it can. Fucking, why is this even important? Not a single person has spewed anything coherent at me yet today, and it's really blowing me up. I don't have the faintest idea what you're referring to, other than the fact that I apparently need to participate. Some clearer instructions are vital if anything is going to happen on my end. If you can just do that much for me, and if I think it's a damn reasonable explanation, I'll think about it, but I want to know why. Really, there is only one matter that needs to be made clear. Tonight, the world as we know it will end, and after completing my merger, I will save you, our friends, and what little of our species remains, with my newfound quiddity. Really, I should probably already be saying goodbye, because soon enough I won't be myself anymore. What does quiddity mean? A distinctive feature, a peculiarity. Okay. Really? So yeah. Okay. Yeah, you gave me an explanation, which is all I asked for, I guess. I still don't feel like I'm getting any of it, nor do I believe it, but this is more of an answer than anything else I've gotten so far. The passiveness you're showing is starting to concern me. I need this to be taken seriously. It's quite literally a matter of life or death, on a planetary scale. And for once, I need your assistance and compliance. Your reaction should not have been so lukewarm. I don't know how you expected me to react to something like that. You just told me out of nowhere that the world is about to fall apart and you're disappearing somehow. That's pretty exorbitant low to drop at my doorstep while still expecting me to play along. Not to mention I don't even fucking understand it. You know I don't believe in that predestined shit. I was trying my absolute hardest to kind of not completely explode on you. But what you're saying is fucking ridiculous. I'm obviously not going to abandon you if something actually happens. Something is actually happening, but what kind of help do you really want? You pretty much never need anything. You pretty much never need any from me, at least not with anything major. You're always so on top of everything. You're so perfect. In a way, it's a special kind of terrifying. But I'm not happy at all with what you're trying to tell me. And I'm not going to just lie down and accept it. What do you even want me to do? I want you to believe me. And I want you to listen to what I have to say. There's not any more time, however. They won't wait for us, so I need to leave you. But I promise, you'll see me again sooner than you think, even if it won't be truly me. A la vida. Diamond. Damn. Jeez. I know you're there. Are you ready to join me, my guardian? Okay, We are sorry, our child. There is something more we must tell you, and a divine intervention that you deserve to be ready for before it comes to pass. I could sense the tension in your writhing. Please explain. We have not been forthright regarding the truth of our form and the path of your belonging. This coil we are bound to, it does not lead to a savior. Your soul is not meant for apotheosis, and this world is not meant for reincarnation. It, as well as we, are fated to disappear. Albion, think of something else. You think of something else, of the people you love and trust with every beat of your now pounding blood pusher. One of these people happens to be this scruffy young man, who is next on our list of points to cross. His thoughts are cast as down toward the ground as his feet. His mouth is tightly shut as his ears are wide open. Not that he would be able to hear these musings right now, even if he tried to, but he, much like all the other relevant actors in this show, will know the osseous rattle. So many words I don't know. What is this? Oh, like bone rattle kind of thing. Osseous rattle my voice sooner rather than later. Who is he, though? Let us become him and find out, even if I am already well aware of the answer. And that is where I'm going to leave it for today. That was fun. I really enjoyed this episode. I really enjoyed meeting Taz and Albion. I like Albion a lot. Albion's my favorite so far. I really like Albion. I like Arcjec and Taz too, and I also like what I've seen of UK. Was that it? Yeah. So I don't know. These trolls are really cool. I like the characters. I think the dialogue is really, really fun and really well written. So I'm sold. I want to do more of this. I will be doing more of this. Thank you so much for everything, for being here. So my interpretation of that last couple pages is Albion was misled by the souls of the previous. What was the word? I can't go back that far, but I'll check. I'll find out in editing. But the previous people who were in her role, of which she's the last in, she was under the impression that she was going to merge with them and be like a savior, but they were like, no, we're going to disappear too, bye. Which I really wonder what that means, because I don't know about, if Spurb/Scrub, something like that will happen. I presume that's what this is going towards, and if that's the case, then I imagine she's a player in that. And is it just her? Is it her merged with the spirits? Is her merging with the spirits more metaphorical, more like coming of age, more like ready to move on from the spirits and awaken her own true power? I'm not sure. I guess we'll have to see. It's really cryptic, and I really can't really begin to make any reasonable guesses. So I'll definitely find out in the future, right? I'm very excited about this. We got some significant progress today. I think this was a good length episode for this. And I'm excited to see you next time. I'm hoping to be able to do this next Sunday. I really want to try to do this once a week. I am doing my best. So, yeah. Guess we'll see. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoy, leave a like. That would be greatly appreciated, especially if you did enjoy the video. And subscribe if you don't want to miss when these come out in the future. If you ring the little bell, then you also get a notification whenever I post, which is very helpful if you are interested in knowing when these pop out. Or if they come out and you're busy, you can just kind of leave the notification there, and then you'll remember later. You'll be like, oh yeah, Ariah posted another Fast Terror video. I want to check that out. So that's always a useful tool, but don't feel pressured if that's not a tool that seems that seems like it would help you. Although I would appreciate the subscriber count. It's an antiquated metric, and I care more about people watching and enjoying. But there are features locked behind subscriber count. So when I'm this small, I do have to ask for it more. And subscriptions don't show up in your feed anyway, especially if you don't ring the bell. So even if you're just like kind of interested, also if you could subscribe, that would be a big help to me and it would mean a lot. So yeah, do what you will there. Thank you guys so much for watching this. I love y'all, and I will see you guys in the next one. Goodbye, everyone.